He's over there like. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Down Once More Pod with Matt and Rayleigh. And this episode, we're talking about Grease, which I definitely think is the best movie from the 70s. I don't know if that really has any other criteria mixed in with it, but I'm going to go ahead and just state that fact. It is the best movie from the 70s, about the 50s. And the reason that we decided to go ahead and do Grease, we were going to push this one back a little bit later in the year, but we decided to go ahead and move this up in line because, unfortunately, due to the recent passing of Olivia Newton-John, rest in peace. She's an icon. She was amazing. She's truly talented. And of course, this was her major hit, and this is where everybody knows her from. But she also did a lot of other things too. Beautiful voice, beautiful person, beautiful soul. Had to fight with cancer for a long time. And unfortunately, she lost that battle. But we felt like maybe this would be a good opportunity to do a little bit of a tribute to her. And our opinion of Grease has nothing to do necessarily with our opinion of Olivia Newton-John, but we just want to give her that moment to, give a little tribute, give a little shout out to her. And rest in peace, Olivia. You are loved and you're a rock star, girl. Matt, anything to add to that before we get started?
No, the only thing I'll add, it doesn't really give away too much about Grease. I think Olivia Newton-John is the best part of Grease. So,
fact.
In that vein,
Agreed.
Crushes it. So, R.I.P. to a legend.
Indeed, indeed. And thank you for gracing us with your angelic voice.
Yes.
We are better people for it.
Also, I'm going to sound really ignorant right now because I did zero research. Sandy is Australian. Is Olivia Newton-John American?
She is Australian.
Hey! Okay, perfect. I'm like, that's a pretty solid accent.
She was it's a pretty rockstar accent if she wasn't. I mean, that's very convincing.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Yeah, you referenced it there a little bit about us pushing this ahead. Originally, we were going to be releasing Moulin Rouge episode, which that one will be a fun one. That one will be coming out in October. And so that's something
Buckle
to look
up,
forward
folks.
to. We went through a lot with this. Our friendship ended. So this is our first podcast episode where we're not friends.
Currently unfriended.
In
real life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We were like swearing at each other before records. And it's like that thing where you lift the curtain and then, you're performing. Mm-hmm. And then we thought we lost.
Got nasty.
Yeah. We thought we lost the whole Rayleigh's whole part of the episode. And we're going.
Which is, obviously like the entire thing. The only thing people care about.
It was just, it's an all-time episode in like our 8 episodes. And there's no way, like, trust me, and you'll see when it comes out. And I recommend watching it. Even if you listen, there's no way we could have recreated it if we didn't recover it. Like, I thought about, like, some of the parts in it were just so absurd. I thought about just trying to recreate it and being fun and just doing your parts because that was going to be gone, saying what I imagined that you said in that and filming side by sides and doing a super fun voice. So
oh my God.
Be glad that you're not being subjected to that we were able to recover it. And so that's something to look forward to in October. It's a fun one.
I can't even tell you how offended I am that you think that you could just replace me in our podcast with other shots of you pretending to be me. This is already the Matt show, and I just get to be here like sometimes. Now you're going to completely, literally cut me out of our podcast and just do you and also you being me. I am so offended by that.
Not by choice.
Seriously,
my recording schedule is just a lot more open and free, especially since I do the editing, than yours.
That is seriously fucked up. Like, seriously.
there were some parts of that.
What is wrong with you?
Needed to see still. Also, that being said, that'll be coming out in October. It was recorded August 4th. So some comments made there. The timelines are all wacky. So, also that being said, on the first sports talk on this, tomorrow is the first Nebraska Huskers football game. I have been a Husker fan. It's our college football program. Thick and thin. It's mostly been very sucky in my adult life. We're recording this the day before the first game, which they're playing in Ireland. And then this will be coming out a couple of days after our second game. So hopefully we're 2-0. So here's my optimistic future prediction. So
go Huskers. Yeah. I mean, I'm a University of Iowa Hawkeye, so I cannot really cheer for your team.
It's our nemesis.
But, yeah, so yeah, go for you, but like boo also. So.
Well,
especially after a comment. No, we're not friends. We're not friends.
I was gonna say, good thing we're already not friends. Then we don't need to worry about it.
God.
Okay.
So shall we resume and begin with our typical obnoxious vocal warm-up session?
Yep, everyone's clamoring for it every week. They get mad if we don't do it.
I get calls. I get phone calls at 2 a.m. asking me, what are you going to say in the next vocal warm-up? I need to know about the next best thing coming out of your mouth.
Yep.
It happens.
Oh, yeah.
So
now, do you want to go first? Do I have to go first?
Technically, I went first last time, but that episode has not yet aired. So I think you should go first.
Well, see, I've already been accused of this being the Matt show, and since I went first in the Moulin Rouge episode, I think you.
It's not an accusation. It is a fact.
See if you're on the trailer for this at all. Okay. I can go first. If you want me to go first, I'll go first.
Let me get my timer up. So if you're just joining us for this episode, our vocal warm-up session is 60 seconds for each of us. We each get 60 seconds. We must cover 3 topics. Can be on any subject that we choose, but we do have to have 3 topics within 60 seconds. I will be timing as Matt is talking, and he will time for me. And I will make this sound when your 60 seconds are up.
Okay, I'm ready. I actually only wrote down 3 things this time. Sometimes I write down more, and then I panic on the third one on which one to say.
I don't know why you do whatever. Okay. Tell me when you're ready, and I shall press the button.
Ready. Go. Okay. So first thing, I just want to I was thinking about it, and my definition of musicals for this podcast is very loose. I decided it is anytime the main characters sing at least twice in it. So therefore, Top Gun, musical, because she got that love and feeling, and Great Balls of Fire. Second, I've gotten crap from Rayleigh for my Love Island takes. This is a pretty good one. The Love Island soundtrack is fire. It's almost all covers. They did a cover on the episode I watched right before we recorded this of Someone You Loved by Louis Capaldi. The cover was fantastic. They did like an acoustic I Want It That Way. That was like a slow jam. It was fucking awesome. Also, I started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm for the first time. I'd never watched an episode before, and I gotta say it's pretty good. Pretty good. And in season 7, he sings Officer Krupke, and that's the whole basis of the episode. So check it out. And I'm gonna
Hey, that was good. You landed right at a minute. It was like 59 seconds, 0.59.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. I'm not even gonna go into the Love Island thing because I feel like every episode I just bash it, and I'm so tired talking about Love Island.
This was the soundtrack. Like they have a Spotify playlist.
No, I'm not giving it any more time. No, none. But Curb Your Enthusiasm is bomb. Larry David is bomb. And I didn't realize until watching that show that he's part of the writing. He was part of the writing for Seinfeld. Which I didn't like for a long time. And then I went back and started watching it recently and was like, oh my God, this is funny. But maybe it's just like when you get old, you think this stuff's funny. Because when I was younger, I didn't think it was funny. So I think it's like an old people show that like you reach a certain age, you're like, that's funny. Because it's about like regular everyday life stuff. You're like, that happens all the time. Which it doesn't happen when you're 20. But when you're 34, it happens because you're an adult.
It's true. Yeah, Curb, I had never watched an episode. I started like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I'm on season 9.
Damn.
Not being
you really do have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah, I'm usually up late and up early, so I stay up late, wake up early. And JB Smoove in it is so good as Leon.
Oh, yeah. Leon. Yep. So good.
All right. Ready?
Let me pull up my notes. I'm ready, I think. Yes, I'm ready.
Ready, set, go.
So, I don't know if you watched when you were a kid. When I was in school, they played Bill Nye the Science Guy. Was really stupid and quirky and silly, but very informative. Well, Bill Nye is back, and he has a show called The End is Nine. It's about catastrophes that are happening in the world and could potentially happen, and it's actually really interesting, and I thought it would be stupid, but Bill Nye is one of those people who never ages. He's been like 50 years old for like 40 years. It's amazing, so check it out. Second thing, I went to a wedding 2 weeks ago, and I thought this was genius. I was in heels. Every woman was in heels. In the bathroom at the wedding, in the women's bathroom, they had flats. They had flip-flops available for all the women. And let me tell you, there was a mad dash. Women were like fighting each other for these flip-flops, but it was a genius idea because at some point you want flats, but you don't want to carry a tiny little purse. Genius. Third thing, I'm going to visit my family at the beach in like a week, and I'm turning everything off. No emails, no phone, nothing. I'm going to check my phone maybe once a day. So if you're trying to reach me in 2 weeks, I am going to be like off the grid, and so don't even look at me. I sped through that. That was really difficult. I just want you to know I had so much to say about all three of those things.
Wait, that's going to be different than your normal weeks?
I hate you so fucking much. I'm trying to like, if I could just laser you with my eyeballs right now, I would. I hate you to my core.
Yeah. So now you know we weren't kidding about the friendship being over. Anyway.
I'm taking the week off of work, so I'm not answering emails. I'm leaving my laptop closed. I'm bringing it because I have to. I'm leaving it in the bag, turned off, and I shall not be opening it, and I shall not be checking email, and I shall be literally on the beach, relaxing with my family, cut off from the world.
That's how it should be on vacation.
I know. I'm so excited.
All right. So we're going to now do a new thing that we'll see if it ends up turning into more of a segment in the future, something else. But I'm like, I want us to do more random chats about each other, random scenarios, maybe get some people interested in. Maybe you're not as into musicals. Some of us, we try to keep them interesting and entertaining and enlightening, even if it's maybe not your thing as much. That's why we keep our singing to less than 5% of the episode. So I posed the question to Rayleigh. If you could pick 3 albums and you could only listen to those 3 albums for 3 months, what would it be? Now, with this being a musical themed podcast, there is the caveat. One of them has to be a musical album. I didn't tell her this. I'm leaving that up to interpretation. Like I said, if you want the Top Gun soundtrack, I'll allow it. If you want the Forgetting Sarah Marshall soundtrack, I'll allow it. If you want a Disney movie, I'll allow it. So we're going to ping pong back and forth. I'll let Rayleigh go first, ladies first, with one album. Doesn't have to be in any order. Okay. Keep in mind, it's coming out September. So you got September. This is what you're listening to for September, October, November. So you are leading into the Christmas season. Do with that as you will.
I'm going to start with my first one, which has been a staple in my life since I was old enough to walk and will never, ever leave my side. Abbey Road by the Beatles. Standard in my everyday life, and I will never, I repeat, never get sick of any of those songs.
Very nice. That's good.
The Beatles. You can't go wrong with the Beatles. If I have to listen to the same damn thing over and over and over again, it's going to be Octopus's Garden, or it's going to be fucking Maxwell's Silver Hammer, for sure. Yeah.
Now, a question for you. When you were considering your albums, I don't know the track list of Abbey Road by heart, or how many there are. Did you take into consideration, okay, I may really like this album, but it only has 10 songs, so I'm not going to choose that? Did you look for ones with deeper track lists or no?
Negative. I did not even consider that. I considered, what I thought through was like, when I get in my car, what's the music that I never don't want to listen to? If I hit my phone, just put it on shuffle, I'll go through like hit next, and I'll hit one of those songs by the Beatles, and I'll be like, yep, stay in there. Every time. I never skip it.
Like it.
Or sometimes I get in the car, you know what? It's a Beatles day, and I just feel it, and I put it on, and I will listen to it, and I'll just sing my heart out. And it's just such good music. Plus, I think maybe it has ties for me to my childhood, so
yeah, that makes sense.
It's nostalgic for me. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my first one.
Oh, and also we haven't addressed it. This isn't the new way I'm doing my hair or anything. I was told I had to do this for the Grease.
I was waiting to talk about it.
Yeah, so I just want to address that.
He's a T-bird tonight.
I look like,
Well, I usually go around in leather jackets over my shoulders like this.
That's the cool way to wear leather jackets. Everyone knows.
If you're going to wear a leather jacket, you don't put your arms in it.
No, the most important part of a jacket is keeping your shoulders warm. Everyone knows
that. The shoulders.
So it's serving its purpose.
My shoulders are nice and toasty right now.
Yeah.
The rest of me's out. But my shoulders are toasty. It's a bit breezy everywhere else.
Yeah, little do you guys know, to help the creative process flow, neither one of us wear pants when we record.
Negative. Pants.
Yeah.
I don't think I even own any pants. I work from home. Pants are not even...
Yeah. Everyone knows that's where the creative juices come from. I hate that I use juices right there, but you get what I'm saying.
It's from the draft.
Yep.
The whoosh.
The nethers. It's where the creativity wafts from.
So. Waft.
Yeah.
Waft.
That one I did do on purpose. But okay.
Okay, your turn. Go first.
For my first one,
your first album.
Mine's gonna be nostalgia as well, but more my own. I technically wasn't allowed to listen to this album, but in high school, I went through a phase where I was really into the album "Getting Away with Murder" by Papa Roach.
I can see that being like sort of a rebellious thing for you.
A little bit. It's just rock. It has the song "Scars" on it, which is just a great one. So then the title track, "Getting Away with Murder." I went through when I was thinking about this, and I'm like, that was an album I used to go back to all the time, and I hadn't listened to in a while. I went through and just listened to the whole thing front to back, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is one. It's got some range with it. It's got some depth. I could rock with this. So, yeah.
I like it.
That's my first pick.
I like it. I don't think I would have. I don't know that I would have pinpointed you as a roacher, but I think. Hey, it makes sense though with your whole like not being allowed to listen to music like that, and then just being sort of like your release. Because I had music like that too, where I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music, and so I would get in, go places where parents weren't around, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this because I can't, because fuck you, and fuck the man, and fuck the parents, and all that stuff.
Put on my MP3 player from my cousins. Visited them in Texas.
MP3s.
That's right.
That was
Back
a jam.
in the day. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And so you're up for number dos.
I think I'll go with my musical album next. And this is more surprising to me than it might be to anyone else because you don't know my history with musicals. But I only recently found out about this musical thanks to Matthew here. I didn't even know it existed until he sent me some music, for like what'd you send me? A playlist, a musical playlist that you listened to, and I was just like, what is this song? And they were talking about Christine, and I was like, Christine, like from Phantom, but like it wasn't any of the Phantom songs. I was like, what are you talking? What? So I started listening to it. And I was like, yeah, this is really good. So I asked him about it. And he said, yes, this is Love Never Dies, the sequel to Phantom of the Opera. And I was like, hang on, wait, what? I've been obsessed with Phantom since Phantom was Phantom, since I was Phantom, since I was a wee speck in my father's eye. I was obsessed with Phantom. And how could I have not known that Andrew Lloyd Webber also wrote a sequel to his story from Phantom? So once I watched it and listened to it, I became thoroughly obsessed. And it's been now a year probably since then. And I have listened to that album maybe 300 times front to back. I love almost every. Now, there's still songs on that album that I will skip because I can't stand to listen to them. I don't like the one that, what is it? Something by the sea. What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. A little speck of heaven or slice of heaven by the sea. Whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter. There are songs in that album that I'll skip, but the majority of them I will sing, and I will sing so passionately that I will actually cry. Real tears, feeling the feels. So would have never said that before a year ago, before even 6 months ago, maybe. But now I would say for the next 3 months, I would be happy to listen to that album. If nothing else existed.
Nice.
So thank you,
That's a
Matthew.
solid choice. What is your favorite song from that album?
Oh, that's got it. It's hard. Devil Take the Hindmost.
Okay, I was just say that one or Beauty
the
Underneath?
first one, not the quartet at the end, but the one between Raoul and the Phantom.
Yeah, the one at the end. I mean, it's still good, but it's not as good. Mine is that or Beauty Underneath. Those are my
Beauty Underneath is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the one I cry in obviously is the end song, and it's called. They call it something weird on the album. It's just the first. Please Miss Jerry or something is what it's called, but like it's the actual end scene with all the emotional stuff that happens, and I won't go into that because we're not talking about music.
We'll talk about it at some point.
Yeah,
maybe to kick off season 2.
Right, if there is a season 2.
Yeah.
Continue, please. Your second choice.
All right, I will also go with my musical one. I actually had both 2 albums listed. And so I'm trying to decide which one. I think I am actually going to go with Tick, Tick, Boom.
Interesting.
Musical. I think just the point in my life I'm at right now, 3090 and Louder Than Words are 2. They're ones that I resonate with. Like when I looked at this list, I'm like, these are songs. If this is all I'm listening to for 3 months, the majority of time when I listen to music is in the morning when I shower, get ready for work. Shower speaker, game changer. Helps give me pumped up for the day. Gives me some time just myself, listen to music. And then when I'm driving to and from work or driving places, and so I'm like, what are albums that I will sing along with in the car? That I'll listen to. And it's also an album that has a lot of variety to it and different styles of music. The other one I considered for it was Hamilton. Just because
I also considered Hamilton.
I enjoy rap. And spoiler alert, my third album isn't rap. So I'm like, just cover all my genres. I'll throw Hamilton in there. But just for the quality of the recording and people's voices and that I prefer, I went with Tick, Tick, Boom. So that's number 2.
I think that is only surprising to me. It's not surprising about you. Like, I know this is one of your favorites. So it's definitely not one of my favorites. So I agree with you that there is some good music. There's some good music there. But, like, I would not like it if I had to listen to that album for 3 months. I would probably shoot myself.
Because of the therapy song. Ironically.
So, number 3, shall we?
Number 3 for you. The final one. Round it out.
This is really hard for me. I kept going back and forth between 2, and I think I'm going to have to say I'll choose album Traveler by Chris Stapleton. That's my third choice, and that shouldn't surprise many people who know me. I'm a Southern girl. I do love some country music, but Chris Stapleton has that voice that's a little bit different, a lot different from your standard like country. It's not, you're not your George Strait kind of sound or your Luke Bryan sound. Chris Stapleton has this like amazing voice, and it's very raspy, and it sounds kind of like old school country, like back in the day, like my dad's age country. Also nostalgic probably because I grew up listening to that style of music. But he's newer. His music is good. And he also has a lot of really good lyrics. Like I listen to his songs and they make me feel like I am living what he's saying. And I think Whiskey and You is great. I think Fire Away makes me like die inside every time I hear it. And obviously, Tennessee Whiskey is, I don't know if you listen to Chris Stapleton. Tennessee Whiskey is the one that everybody knows.
I know Tennessee Whiskey.
I recommend listening to Whiskey and You and Fire Away, and you may not be a country fan, but the lyrics are not your standard country music lyrics. They are really very intelligent, very emotional, very well written. And being a writer myself, no. Or a dog.
No dog?
Nope. Or even going to like a local dive.
But it is about whiskey. So.
Indeed. So, yeah. Kinda. Yes. Ish. Yeah. But, oh man, I don't have my whiskey tonight. I'm so sad. But yeah, so Chris Stapleton, for sure. I think
nice.
Some good stuff. Being a writer myself, I think writing song lyrics is really difficult to do. Writing different, unique, interesting song lyrics that really resonate with a lot of people is a difficult task. And so if you can do that, and I can see that you've done that, it means something to me. So that is my third choice. Yeah. Now you go.
Nice. Yeah, I went through a stage in high school where I thought I could write song lyrics. I had the binder with them still. Some of them are okay. Some are cringy. I would also always try to start lyrics and short stories. I just never finished anything. So, my third one is going to be another throwback to high school. And it is going to be kind of a throwback to high school. It is going to be the album It's Still Nothing Personal by All Time Low, which is just they re-recorded their album Nothing Personal 10 years later. It's pop punk. It's got some anthems, some slower songs too. It's just another one that front to back, I don't skip a song. I love, and it always puts me in a good mood, picks me up, everything like that. So that is my third album. So damned if I do you, damned if I don't. Always good. Kicking off with Waitlist, and I'm choosing the re-recording. They say a tribute to it because they change up some of the arrangements, and I like it. And the song Lost in Stereo was one of the most basic guitar songs to play. So it was one that I used to think I could play. I mean, I could play it. It was one of the few I could play back when I tried to teach myself guitar. So just a bunch of bar chords, nice. Easy as fuck. So
nice.
Yep.
Hey, that's good. Yeah. I don't know that song or those people, but that sounds great.
What are your thoughts on bro country, like Chase Rice, Sam Hunt, those kind of
guys? Hit or miss.
Yeah.
I think there's some good ones in there, but I think a lot of it is too generic.
Yeah.
Too honky tonk for me. It's a little bit too like, we're going down to the jukebox and we're going to play some songs and we're going to line dance and do. And it's very, like, they're very beautiful people, most of them. They are beautiful. Yeah. And I feel like that is mostly where their talent lies. Now they have good voice. I think Sam Hunt is probably my favorite of that category.
Yeah.
But I've seen Luke Bryan. I've seen him live, and he is very entertaining. He's also very fun to look at. So I don't mind him. I think that it's good for like it's surface level for me. It's like I can jam to it, but it's not like I don't like feel it.
Yeah.
Which is not what their intention is. I think it's not that they're not trying to write like the emotional record of the year, but it is what it is. I think you have to take it for what it is.
Yeah. Sam Hunt likes to do a lot of the spoken word singing.
He talk sings.
Yeah.
He talk sings. Sing talks.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
It's a way to do it.
Hey, exactly. You know what? You can always recreate that live. Now, some people can't sing live the way they can on the recorded album because they've recorded it and they've auto-tuned it or whatever the fuck. They made it beautiful. So when you see them live, you're like, what is this shit? Like, you suck. So if you're speaking, then it's kind of hard to fuck that up.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things for me when I go to see someone live, because I don't go to as many anymore, but I used to love going to live shows. There's nothing more disappointing than when you go to a band live and either they have no stage presence or they just sound like shit live.
They're terrible. You're like, oh, okay, so your entire thing, all of you, is a lie. You are a lie. Thank you for that. Thanks. I think we have the creator of autotune to thank for a lot of the bullshit that we hear in music now.
Yeah.
Thank you, T-Pain.
Dude, he can actually sing,
but I know. I saw a documentary.
So good.
And I saw him singing, and I was like, dude has an amazing voice. Now, I don't hate him for his sound. I think he started something brand new that he just went with it, and he was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do this. And it is great for what it is.
Yeah.
Totally. And it's not like it doesn't still take talent to write the hook, to write the beat. He's still got skill. And now we know, I've heard him sing, he actually does have a good voice. I don't hate him for what he is. What I hate is the other songwriters and singers, not songwriters, singers, who get up there and who don't have a catchy hook or a beat. They just can't sing. So they're faking it with autotune.
Yeah.
That you are what's wrong. Okay, we don't have time to get into that rant, but that pisses me off to no end. Like, that means that anybody can be a singer, but nobody is a singer? That makes fucking no sense.
Yeah. Did you have the clear time? I did a little bit. Do you have any honorable mention albums?
Yes.
Okay. Give me one.
Just one. Okay.
Or you can fire off a couple quick.
Picaresque by the Decemberists was the one that I couldn't decide between that and Chris Stapleton. Okay. That album is amazing, and there's so many good songs on it. And the other one was I was trying to decide between Love Never Dies and Rent. I sing Rent all day every day too. So those were my tied for those two genres. Tied. Nice.
Yeah, I think I had 7 written down. Mine just go in such stages. I had one a whole new worst, W-U-R-S-T, W-U-R-S-T, if I said that right, by Punk Rock Factory, and it's a whole bunch of Disney covers and punk rock version, and it's very unique, and I almost chose that because it was a way to cheat and get a whole bunch of the popular Disney songs. So I almost went with that one. And then also, I really like rap. I'm not usually into mumble rap, but I love Juice WRLD's album, Legends Never Die. That was the first album after he passed away that was released. I think he has at least one more that's come out since then. But Legends Never Die, I love that one from front to back. And I feel like he's bordering mumble rap. He's not as bad as some of the other ones. I can still actually understand him.
Understand what he's saying. Yeah.
What he's singing. And then the most controversial one would be, I actually really like the album Mainstream Sellout by Machine Gun Kelly. So I just
ironic.
Yeah. Well, he's got it made. He's living the dream right now. He's either engaged or already married to Megan Fox. He's getting acting gigs. He's forget the mainstream Stella album. He's got Lil Wayne is on like 3 of the songs with him too, and then he's got Travis Barker like producing, doing drums and everything like that. So that throws back like for me from Blink-182 and everything. I'm like, he's just living the dream for a guy his age.
And MGK is so hot.
See, I personally don't get it, but
you don't. Oh
no, I mean, there's certain times that I'm like,
I
can see it,
yeah.
But for the most part,
maybe it's just the attitude. Maybe it's more the persona rather than the actual like physical appearance. But anywho, we're halfway into our hour. Should we really talk about Grease now? I feel like we should.
Yeah, we should. Let's do it.
I'm gonna put on my pseudo Grease, pseudo Michael Jackson jacket because this is like the closest thing I had to a Grease theme. I don't know.
Let's go with Grease. It's less controversial. I don't think there were kids diddled in Grease, so
yeah, but almost because you know.
No, everyone is 50 in this movie.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So let me get started here. Grease, if you don't know, I'm gonna give you like a 5-second synopsis of Grease because everybody knows what Grease is.
It's the word.
It is the word. Grease Lightning. It is this movie that came out in the 70s. Actually, it's also a musical on Broadway, but we're talking about the movie. It came out in 1978, and it's supposed to be set in the 50s in high school, and boy meets girl, and the boy is part of the T-Birds, who's like a leather jacket gang of guys who are too cool for school, and they got the hair slicked back with lots and lots and lots and lots of grease. And the girls are, bad girls doing their thing with their jackets, but they're seniors in high school and they're graduating, and shit ensues. But boy meets girl before the actual school starts. They meet in the summertime, and then they go their separate ways, not knowing that they're actually going to end up at the same high school, which I think is hilarious because how do you not talk about that? I thought you went back to Australia. Way to change your plans. You could have called.
It's a big fucking change of plans.
I mean, yeah, like Rydell High. Where are they supposed to be, by the way? Are they supposed to be like in New York?
I don't know.
Or
I was wondering that too.
The Northeast.
You keep
somewhere?
Your description. I'll look up.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. It's the 50s, and there's a lot of they've got the American Bandstand comes to their high school and does this like huge video recording, live recording of their high school dance. And I'm sure that if anybody watching this actually lived through the 50s, that was a big ass fucking deal back then, because nothing was on TV except for 3 channels, and if you got to be on TV, you were basically famous, like you were a celebrity. So, let's talk about the fact that obviously Olivia Newton-John plays Sandy, the main girl, and John Travolta, love of my life, until he became a crazy Scientologist, plays Danny Zuko, the main guy. You also have Jeff Conaway, who plays Kaneki, the other leader of the gang. And then you've got Stockard Channing, who plays Rizzo, which is one of the girls. And I forgot the other girl's name. Jamie something was Jan, whatever. Who cares? Pink Ladies versus T-Birds, right? Come to find out, John Travolta was actually I thought he was a lot older, but he was actually only 23 when they recorded this movie. When they filmed this movie. He was supposed to be playing a 17, 18-year-old guy in high school. So he looks a lot older than 17, but he's still one of the youngest ones who actually filmed. Olivia Newton-John
looks one of the youngest in it too.
He does, but he still looks way older than 18.
Oh yeah.
Olivia Newton-John, I found out, was actually 29 when they filmed this. She was nearly 30 years old and supposed to be playing a 17-year-old girl. Although she has a bit of a baby face, so she pulls it off a little bit better than most. Stockard Channing, Rizzo, 33. 33. Trying to play a 17-year-old girl. I'm not sure whose idea that was, but it shows in this movie. Like, you are looking at all those girls, and even in her voice, the way she carries herself, the way she talks, she looks like a grown-ass woman who's had a couple of kids, who's like living a tough life, and she's supposed to be graduating from high school.
It was actually part of their anti-smoking PSA. Okay.
Hey kids, don't be like Rizzo. This is
like...
me. I'm gonna get pregnant and have a child before I'm even 20.
Like, you look like shit.
I think we can both agree, though, who looked the oldest in this, and it is the guy who played Sonny. He was only 32.
Oh.
Michael.
He does look like a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
You know who also looks like a 50-year-old man? They call him Crater Face. I don't know if we've ever actually got his name throughout the whole movie, but the boyfriend of Chacha de Gregorio,
the lead of the Scorpions.
Scorpions gang. Yes, he literally comes in the movie maybe 4 or 5 times, and he races against Danny Zuko in a like a street race.
Fire-breathing car.
A fire-breathing car with flames on the side. It's very original.
Not a car guy.
Is totally a 50. I don't know his name. I don't know actually how old he was, but he's gotta be 40. Oh yeah. But he's supposed to be a 17-year-old guy. It is like, watching this is almost laughable, because nowadays if you tried to pull this off, people would be like, the fuck? Like, you'd almost have to hire people, you'd almost have to hire kids to play like younger than 17, because the camera adds age to you. So think about in West Side Story, right? Maria is supposed to be 16. They had to find a girl who was either actually 16 or looks really, really young. And I don't know how old the actress is, but she looked like a kid. And if they tried to put a 30-year-old woman in that role, people would be like, the fuck are you doing? No. So anyway, give me your initial thoughts on Grease. I know that you said that you're not as familiar with it. I've seen it a gazillion times, and I'll get into my history with it in a moment. But I want to hear your thoughts on Grease Lightning.
So that guy's name is Leo, and he was 31 when Grease came out.
My God, that poor guy. At 31, he looked like he was 50.
He died at 46.
I'm not surprised by that.
I don't know
whatever
how
he was
died.
doing. Whatever he was doing, it wasn't good for him. His like skin and his face were like, just like, what happened to you, son?
Yeah. So my initial thoughts, I think Grease is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Songs are catchy. I don't know if that surprises you or not. But my one thing, and I know nothing about the Broadway musical, because I know it says that came out in 1971. I actually didn't know this was based on a musical before, when I rewatched it and saw in the fun cartoon credits that it was based on the musical. I have seen Grease live that they did. It was one of the better live recordings I think they've done. They've done some other ones that have been. The Rent one was hot garbage. But I thought that was pretty good. Had a solid cast. Had Vanessa Hudgens in it. Julianne Hough played Sandy. I really enjoy Grease. I feel like they kind of wanted to make a Three Stooges movie, and then threw in music the names of the T-Birds. Besides Kaneki and Danny.
Danny Zuko.
Duty.
Sonny.
And Putsy.
And
they act like they're the Three Stooges throughout this whole thing. Sonny, when Will comes in, he goes, va-va-voom, va-va-voom. And then they do boink sounds. Like
they do, like, even at one point, they try to, like, poke his eye. One of them goes, like,
yeah.
He does
During
that,
Summer
literally.
Lovin', Kaneki flicks a spoon at Sonny when he's being all rapey. And it makes the boing sound. College Humor did a really fun, I'm pretty sure it was College Humor, did a really funny skit about Summer Lovin', and when the Sonny, the one guy's just going off, being creepier and creepier, rapier on not the sword, but the sexual assault, with everything that he says. And everyone's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? And just stop because he's just going on his own thing. She put up a fight. It's like,
Actually, that was Kaneki
No.
that said that.
was it?
That was
I was pretty
Kaneki
sure it
that
was
said,
Sunny.
"Did she put up?" Oh wait, no, it was Kaneki. No, it was Kaneki that said that. I remember because I was like, not cool. But Sunny at the end when he gets the boink is he says, "Could she get me a friend?"
Yeah.
Boing.
He,
It turned colder. That's where it is.
I just, the songs and everything are more, they're a lot of fun in Grease, I think. Regardless of problems with plot, cheesiness, the whole thing's pretty fun. I went to work the next day, one of my coworkers was talking about this. And we were recording and we were talking about Grease, and he said that he had one of the songs stuck in his head then. And I said, you're lucky. You know what I have stuck in my head from it? Brush out, fucking goddamn chipmunk.
With the new iPad now. Brush out. That's how we get germs fast.
Yeah, that's what I had stuck in my head. Oh, also, fuck is it with this? The guy, dude, he's just looking up the girls' skirts.
Oh yeah,
The thing?
they do a lot of that, like really
Jesus
creepy grabby stuff, creepy comments. There's a lot of like not subtle at all sexual innuendos that when you're a kid watching this movie, you don't understand, you don't get them, but they're
It doesn't
rampant
age the
throughout.
best. Yeah.
No, not especially not post Me Too movements when everybody's really, really sensitive to these things. You can't say that stuff. And it's also supposed to be like, they're supposed to be like, guys being guys, boys being boys, making these comments, but at the same time, they're actively juxtaposing that versus Sandy being like really virginal and very, very, very like innocent. So even in the song Summer Lovin', he's talking about all the like and doing all these like disgusting movements, talking about everything they did, even though it's all a lie because Sandy's on the other side saying like, we held hands, and, like we stayed out till 10 o'clock. Like it's just really like cringy to see how she's like, he's such a sweet boy, and he's over there like, like
which the movie opens up with that time with them on the beach and they're running around and throwing sand at each other. Like,
nobody
fuck out of here with that.
Life.
If you're throwing sand at me, like, I'm not fucking you. Like,
it's not happening.
No, I'm not dealing with this.
No.
Look, it gets everywhere.
And if you are stupid enough to step back and stand on the sandcastle we spent hours making together, and then I didn't even get a picture of it, and you put your stupid big foot on it, I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, you're staying out here after past 10 o'clock to make me another damn sandcastle because your big foot stepped in it. Stupid.
Yeah.
She's also like, don't ruin it. This is a perfect moment. He's like, no, it'll only make it better. Like, ew. Can we just talk about how, like, when, they don't know that they're at the same school together. Sandy comes in, she meets the pink ladies. They're all making fun of her because she's so virginal. And they're like finally like, oh, this boy that you met, like he seems so nice. What was his name? She says, Danny Zuko. And they're like, oh my God, but they don't tell her. They later have her meet Danny at the pep rally, and neither knows that the other is there, right? So, ta-da, Sandy's here, and Danny lights up like a fucking Christmas tree. He's like, Sandy! He's like, Danny? And then they have this moment. She's like, I thought you were back to Australia. We had a change of plans. And then Kaneki steps in, and he's like, hey man, be cool, And then Danny starts talking like a fucking like he's like lost his like He's like, oh, that's cool, baby, whatever, rocking it, rolling, and that suddenly like pisses her the fuck off. Somehow that chick, like him just talking like, hey, cool, baby. She's like, you're the worst human being I've ever met in my entire life. I wish I'd never laid eyes on you. She throws a pom-pom at him. And I mean, I'm just over here wondering, like, did I miss something? Did he say something really awful to you right now? Did he just say like I hate you, stupid bitch?
Yeah,
I didn't hear it. It sounded to
I
me
mean-
he just kind of like was like shrugging, like, cool, baby. I don't know. I'm here. She's like, what happened to the Danny Zuko I met in the summer? What? He just said baby a couple of times. Like that's that he changed completely as another human being in front of you.
Yeah.
I was so confused. Like he didn't even do anything offensive right now, but you're really upset with him. And now she suddenly never wishes she had ever met him. Like he's dead to her.
He is acting a little bit like a dismissive douche canoe.
Sure. But he's a fucking high school guy. Like,
right.
And he's in front of his friends.
Yeah,
she can't be that innocent and that stupid that she'd be like, I expect you to like fall down on your knees and be like, I love you forever.
Yeah, guys in Australia don't care about looking cool in front of their friends.
Apparently not.
Let's talk about.
Or she's never met another human of the male species ever.
Apparently. Let's talk about the pep rally for a second. First, they're just casually as the opposing team, like a mannequin dressed like the opposing team, being lynched and set on fire in the background. And then also,
that's normal.
Yeah. Are we supposed to believe, is this pep rally taking place on the first day back at school? So,
Really?
The first day of school, she became a cheerleader, got her cheerleader outfit. They didn't see each other throughout the whole day. And she started making eyes at the
routine?
really stupid quarterback. Yeah, she learned the routine, the cheer.
That she fell on her ass in the middle of.
Yeah, like yeah.
It all happened in one day. And and also the pep rally is at the football field where the game is going on also.
That's what's confused. Yeah,
it
didn't make much sense.
But she meets like flirty eyes McGee over there, the stupid jock, right? Who will later become important because he makes Danny uber jealous. And then she like freaks out and she's like, oh, I wish I never met you, Danny Zuko, because you acted cool for a second. And man, Rizzo
you should put cool in air quotes.
Cool, baby. Right. So fast forward. I think my next favorite scene has got to be at the slumber party when Sandy is too virginal to have a sip of wine and like can't be bothered to like even suggest the fact that someone have a cigarette near her. She's so over the top with the like, I'm an innocent girl that it's like, okay, enough. Right? And her friend just decides to pierce her damn ears all of a sudden. Like, I'm gonna stick a needle in your ear. Like, that's not what girls do at slumber parties. I don't know what kind of slumber parties y'all been to, but like, we don't normally stick needles in each other. And just bleed
that
out
happened at every slumber party I was at.
It's a needle party.
Yeah.
Stab you first.
Did she take a drag of the cigarette too?
She did, and she coughed it like really a lot. Like it just nearly.
Here's the thing: there is no way in hell, having never smoked before, that she actually inhaled that cigarette.
Right, and she wouldn't know how to. She'd just be like.
She would have just puffed it like a cigar. It would have just been in her mouth. I'm not gonna cough.
Really gross. Ew.
Yeah.
Right, and then Rizzo makes fun of her and calls her Sandra D. I think it's hilarious that Rizzo leaves the slumber party to go like hook up with Kaneki.
Yeah.
Let's be clear though. Danny Zuko is her first choice.
Yeah.
She's all about the Zook. Well, and then
had they hooked up
Kaneki's
before?
Like, yeah. So
okay, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if it was mentioned and I just missed it.
I mean, it was never addressed
very heavily
directly,
implied,
but
at least.
They keep saying like, oh, that's in the past. You know, that was a one-time thing, or it was a thing in the past, whatever. Rizzo is a fun character because she is just the worst when it comes to like all the things that are wrong about high school girls, all in one character. She's a hoe. She is angry at life. Sorry. She enjoys the company of any man around.
Better.
Is that nicer? I don't know how to say it without being condescending. She will take any dick. Any dick. And
She doesn't
She
care. If
goes
the
with
condom
Crater
doesn't
Face
work.
to the dance. She doesn't care. She gets almost pregnant. She has a pregnancy scare, right? And her friend Marty loves to tell that story. Can we talk about the super creepy pedophile at the dance?
Really quick,
The
I want to jump
announcer
back
guy?
to the slumber party.
Yes, go.
I thought it was funny during the opening credits where it's like cartoons and stuff like that. When Sandy, her opening thing, she is waking up in bed in what looks like basically a see-through nighty gown. And then there's deers and birds, like Snow White watching her get dressed.
Right.
And then when she's at the slumber party, she is wearing the most covered grandmotherly
She's wearing a
nightgown
muumuu
ever.
That is a muumuu.
Yeah.
Full on.
Yeah. And
Like,
so
she's
it's
supposed to be this, like, super angelic character.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has her transformation at the end, but we'll get to that.
I don't remember at what point this is. I just have one note that Rizzo says, "Where are you going to flog your log?" to someone. Hate that. Hate that. I don't
She
remember.
said that's a Danny Zuko. Where you want to flog your log? There are all kinds of references like that. Okay, my history with this movie is that I watched it as a kid, right? And I was not allowed to watch anything. And I mean nothing. We've talked about this. I wasn't allowed to watch Saved by the Bell. I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch anything that all my friends. I wasn't even allowed to watch Friends. Friends, which I guess I now understand. It's a lot of like, right? You understand?
Well, innuendos.
So somehow, some way, my parents were fine with Grease. And I watched it a lot. And I would go around quoting it in my house. And I would say things like, Chixel Cream for Grease Lightning.
Right.
And I'm like a 10-year-old walking around in my Christian home going, what's a cream? Chixel Cream for Grease Lightning. And nobody said anything to me about that, what that meant. I think my parents were like, oh, she's so young, she doesn't understand what she's saying.
Right. As long as she doesn't know. You gotta tell me.
Right. So I'm going around in public doing this too. And if they only knew. So I didn't understand probably 70% of the movie when I was a kid. Yep. And then I went back and watched it as an adult and I was like, and that was even pre like Me Too movement, before we became super sensitive to these things. I was already like, that's not okay. You can't do that. And some of the scenes are just like she says, are you going to flog your log? There's so I can't. There's so many times in that movie. But when I was in high school, we put on the production of Grease. That was our musical for the year when I was, I think, a sophomore. And I tried out and I got the part of Jan, who's the I wanted to be Sandy, obviously. Blonde, yes, I wanted to be the star, but I did not have the singing voice for it. I'm a decent singer, but I'm not a great singer. So they had to put me in the front, but like back a little bit, you know, not none of me. I was going to, but that's the thing. I got Jan's part. I had some singing lines. I had a lot of lines, spoken lines. I had a fun little quirky character I was going to play. I was so excited about it. Mm-hmm. And throughout the process, our drama teacher had to rewrite like, I'd say 40% of the lyrics in the songs that we were going to sing because she didn't want us to say anything racy.
Objectionable.
Right. So I remember there was this big debate over the song. Remember when Rizzo's singing in the school and she's like just found out that she thinks she's pregnant. Everybody's being mean to her and she's sad and she's like, I could hurt someone like me. Right? Mm-hmm. There's a part in there where she says, I could wait around for Mr. Right. I could stay home every night, wait around for Mr. Right, take cold showers every day, and throw my life away. That line was such a debate in our drama class because the teacher was like, we can't say that. And I was like, what do you mean we can't say that you should take a shower every day? I had no idea that she's telling herself take a cold shower to get herself calmed down to stop being, no, it doesn't work. But I had no idea what that meant because I went through my entire childhood singing these songs, not knowing that there was anything wrong, or not wrong, but that there was anything even like iffy about them, that I didn't even know what they were talking about. So I'm in high school trying to sing this song. And the drama teacher was like, "We're gonna have to change that lyric. You can't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that." It's like, why? Why can't we talk about showering? I don't get it. She's just saying I take a shower. I take a shower every day. Am I not allowed to say that?
Think she stinks?
Don't say that. Oh my god, I didn't understand. So yeah, but I ended up not being able to do the play because about 2 months into rehearsals and about a month before the show, I got mono, and I was out, completely out for like 2 months. I was down kissing. in the bed. That's what they say. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even think I was making out with anybody at that age. I don't think I even knew what. But it was like, kissing is bad. Pretty sure. So yeah, that. Can we talk about the creepy, rapey pedophile at the school dance?
Yes.
They have American Bandstand, and the announcer, he's like I guess he's a radio or a TV show host or whatever. Maybe he's just a host of American Bandstand, and he's at the high school doing the record, like the live broadcast, and he's all about some Marty, and Marty is 17 years old. Prob not legal. I'm going to go ahead and assume prob not legal. But he's all about some Marty, and it is creepier than creepy. Oh, yeah. And I didn't notice this until this time I watched it. I rewatched it for this podcast. I didn't notice it until this time, and I've seen it probably 100 times, that Marty later says to Rizzo in the bathroom, "I caught Vince Fontaine trying to put an aspirin in my Diet Coke."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What? We're just going to breeze past the fact that he totally tried to date rape this chick?
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be funny? She says it like it's funny. Like, I caught him trying to put an aspirin in my Diet Coke. Like it's a joke.
And here's the thing. You would think if you were him, it's just proof he was a dumbass rapist. Not trying to say I want people to be smart rapists. But he like calls her on TV and introduces her. Hey, when you're at least twice this girl's age, maybe don't make a big deal about how into her you are. Just saying. I mean, I wasn't alive during the 50s, so maybe that was more socially acceptable. But
goes to show that people did not give a fuck back then. No. You could do whatever the hell you wanted. You could talk to women however you wanted to, especially if you were an older man talking to a younger chick. Totally fine. Nobody would ever say anything. It's normal.
Yep. So,
and then try to date rape her.
Jumping back to Rizzo leaving the slumber party to go with Kinnicky. They go to a place to hook up.
Right.
I have never in my fucking life moaned, probably total in my life, as much as Kinnicky did in this car. I mean, I'll get into it, but like, holy fuck, he's moaning way more than her.
Yeah.
So exaggerated.
It's really uncomfortable.
And it's like, this scene was written by someone or dude that's never had sex.
Right.
Or maybe I've just been doing it wrong my whole life. But I'm, as the guy, I'm never moaning that loud and that much.
It is a lot. It is an uncomfortable amount of moanage.
Yeah.
And I am taken aback by their maneuver from the front seat to the back seat, where they never stop making out, but they both just go back over the back seat like this, like just in one swift movement, flopping over to the back seat. Like, what kind of contortionist craziness is this? Why don't you just get out?
Right. Also, was that supposed to be like the first time they fucked? Because like the condom, he's like, is in my wallet. It's been in here since middle school or some bullshit like that.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. But
it must have been, because it only took the one time for her to think she got pregnant.
This is jumping before the National Bandstand, but can we talk about how Danny just apparently doesn't know what sports are? Like that whole segment and part. Like, he knows what nothing is. He doesn't know what basketball is. He doesn't know what baseball is. He pulls a Three Stooges move, pulls the umpire's mask off, so it goes back and hits him in the face. And, like, he just doesn't know
He's never
sports.
seen a man dribble the ball before.
Also, what the fuck is this coach doing? He's like, oh, you've got aggression. And then instead of football, he's like, let's have him do wrestling. I like that whole scene. I'm like, the fuck is going on here?
After all the jokes that were in that movie, I was shocked that they did not have any sort of uncomfortable gay reference in the wrestling scene. I was shocked because you would almost expect him to be uncomfortable with this huge man wrapped around him and then like straddling him. And that doesn't come up. I was expecting that joke because there have been so many inappropriate jokes throughout.
Yeah.
And that doesn't come up. That shocked me. And I think it says something about the fact that that was just not even something people joked about in the 70s. Like that wasn't even if as inappropriate as that joke would be, even that was something they didn't like touch. They were like, we're not even going to talk about that.
Didn't they make a joke to the super nerdy like kid about the dance, about something about having to do choose a girl? I felt like maybe not.
Eugene.
Could be making up my name. Eugene.
Eugene. They might have said something. Maybe like you're taking a guy to the dance. I don't know.
I don't remember. Now, yeah, I did have the note saying that Vince Fontaine is just a predator.
100%.
I will say also, as someone who has attempted this, they make sliding on your knees seem like the most natural thing. Even in high school, when I tried to pull off that move, I think that's probably why I have issues with my knees to this day. And I didn't even do it that often. I just do it all the time. That fucking hurts, dude.
Right. And it is not an easy thing to do. But if they were already like grown ass men by that time, just sliding around on their knees. It must have been a very, very greased basketball floor where they were just
apparently, and they must have been wearing knee pads. But
maybe
now on the fun theme of this movie with sexual predators and assault, at the movie theater, at the drive-in, when Danny tries to basically force himself on Sandy, and then she leaves, which good for her. Yeah. And then he does the whole song that's almost like you're supposed to empathize with him, like Stranded at the Drive-In, when he's like, why'd you leave, oh Sandy? Because you tried to force yourself on her after she said no, you dumb fuck.
Obvious why she left.
Like,
nobody feels sorry for you.
I know you're not bright, but like
he is very much playing the character like that like mentality of I can't stand to be rejected by you. So like, why did you hurt? How could you do that to me? Like after what I've done, how could you do that to me?
The original Gaslighter.
Yes, Danny Zuko, the original Gaslighter. I mean, yeah, and the I love the sneeze maneuver with the achoo hand grab.
I never attempted that maneuver.
Oh, you didn't? I mean, I'm sure I would have been successful. I feel like it's like it's a guarantee. It's a sure thing, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone loves the sneeze maneuver. It's very subtle. It's not played
sneeze
out at
grab.
all.
No. Yeah. Just a little drive-in dust. And what is it? Oh, can we talk about Frankie Avalon showing up randomly at the diner to give her? I think that's my least favorite scene in the entire movie is the beauty school dropout scene when they do the angels in heaven coming down to tell her. I actually like
beauty school dropout.
I like the song, but the scene I hate. I hate it. I think it is so cheesy. It's more than cheesy. It's like
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, and it's like ew. Like it's just creepy. Like this old man telling her like, you're such a looker, like no customer would go to you unless she was a hooker.
Yeah.
Like he's like beating her down, like making her feel like a piece of shit, and she's like, I love you. You're so beautiful. Thank you. Like, thank you for all your criticism and making me feel like a piece of shit right now. You're so awesome. And he's like, I gotta go now, baby. But you're welcome for the advice.
Yeah.
Frankie Avalon out.
But that's just in her head because that character's Teen Angel. But yes.
Yeah. But
I had the hooker line, the note of that, and I said, what just an unnecessarily savage line to just drop in the song.
Like, he's like, no one wants to get their hair done by a slob. He's like tearing her down the whole time, telling her how stupid she is and how like bad at this she is, and you're never gonna be good at it. And the only person who's gonna go to you is a hooker. Like, unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
And seriously, the whole time she's like gaga eyes, like she's listening to him be a complete asshole to her and being like,
I mean,
wow.
She is with Duty. That was the line when they walked into the National Bandstand. And she just goes, Duty, how do I look? It made me laugh. Like, I laughed out loud at that just because it sounds so fucking ridiculous. Like, you're going to ask the person named Duty,
how do I look?
How you look.
And he says, like a beautiful blonde pineapple. She's like, hey.
They were swingers, pineapples. I will say, is there more you want to talk about the dance? I was going to jump to Thunder Road.
Only that Jan, who I particularly have a connection with because I was supposed to play her, in that moment. But her and Putsy, their moment in the diner, this is before the dance, and he says, wow, you're a cheap date. And she's like, I didn't mean it like that. I understand. I always thought you were an understanding person. The two of them just being so stupid together. And then he says, I also always thought there was more to you than just fat.
Right. She's not fat at all.
So many jokes about her being fat. She's not even like a little chunky at all.
Like, we couldn't. Fat people disgust us so much we can't cast them in this movie.
We can actually put a fat girl in here.
In this role that doesn't really require
the fat girl, even though there's not an ounce of fat on her. It is the strangest paradox.
Well, but like you said, the fat jokes at the slumber party, she's in there just like fisting a Twinkie. Like, she's just holding it like that. Like, I do eat many Twinkies. I can't tell you the last time I had one. I have never just held it like a cock. Like, I just never done that.
How many things do you hold like a cock?
Pretty much just my cock. I mean, every once in a while a beer, I guess. But,
a pickle.
Yep, that's
giant pickle.
That's about the extent.
Yeah, so like this episode next is you just holding the microphone like a cock.
The title of this will be usually just my cock. A tribute to Olivia Newton-John.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Olivia. This podcast is taking a strange twist. Thunder Road. Let's talk
Thunder Road. Which I love that scene. The main part, Grease Lightning, probably one of the more. This has lots of iconic songs. One of the more well-known ones. The main takeaway from that is the chicks will cream for this car, because everyone knows women are very into cars.
Yes.
And
well, we think
makes
about
their panties creamy.
It's all we cream for.
That's right.
Every single one of us.
I think I don't like the term chicks will cream.
You think you don't like it? Oh, that's
I'm pretty positive.
I'm pretty sure I have a visceral reaction to it.
Like, I prefer moist. over cream.
Ooh, I hate that word,
situation.
moist. And the other word I hate is secrete.
I feel like the word girth is a bit disconcerting. Like, I think I prefer moist over girth. So what do you say about cake? Do you not say it's moist? You say, ooh, look at this damp cake.
No, I don't usually comment on how moist things are in general. I avoid topics about moistness.
I don't mind moist as long as it's not referring to nethers, or if you're like,
I
nope,
might
moist
call it spongy, a spongy cake.
Okay, cake. That could work. That doesn't sound appetizing. Anyways, Thunder Road.
Sounds more appetizing than moist.
Moist doesn't bother me.
I can't. Okay.
There's the one How I Met Your Mother episode where Barney's trying to piss him off and prove a point, and he knows Lily hates the word moist. She says you support plays even if they're shitty, so he just gets a water gun, and his play that he puts on, he just stands at her and he's squirting her in the face with it, going, moist. Moist. Just over and over. It's funny. So Thunder Road, I like that the shop teacher went. That's like, I'm going to basically give my support and sanction to this. Also, good
Illegal
for them for having
activity.
a female shop teacher.
Right.
Kudos. Very
so
progressive.
They did a very good job of making her basically a man.
Yep.
But yes, I agree. Good for that.
This could just be because I've watched Top Gun recently, but as soon as the race started, I really wanted Danger Zone to start playing. And then I liked how the Scorpions leader just somehow had a BattleBots car.
Right. We love that. He just installed some really cardboard-looking fake blades out of his wheels, like this. And they just were like...
Yeah.
And then he just kind of... Oh, and also the side of Grease Lightning is made of, like, paper mache. Because that, like, cardboard blade just cut right into the side of that car, into the metal door, and just carved a hole right through the side of that car. You know what
They were
it
sharp
would take
blades.
to cut through the side of a car like that?
Yeah.
It would take a lot. And then I love that he's all surprised when it pops off of his wheel. He's like, oh no, I didn't realize that could happen, that I could actually do... Why do they go up on the wall at one point?
For dramatic,
I feel like that's an unnecessary route to take when they're just going around the bridge and back. You can just stay on the ground. But they both go up on the wall, and I feel like that's not the quickest route from point A to point B.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the theories that I've seen, is that they actually die in the Thunder Road race, and so that's why the car flies at the end. They're dead.
Who dies?
Danny, Sandy, he hit her watching on the thing or something. I don't know. I've seen that theory that they're dead. And that's why the car flies at the end. Everything else is so realistic that the flying car just pushes people over the edge that they've created this narrative.
No, that's interesting.
People are dead.
Okay, well, I've never thought about that or heard that, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's much better than the actual moral of the movie, that it is very important to change yourself completely in order to get the guy to like you.
And change yourself completely in order to get the girl to like you.
That's true. That's why he tried to do sports that he'd never heard of before.
Right, because, you know, when you go from being a cool guy to doing one sport for one day, it makes you a completely different human being.
Everyone knows bitches love sports.
Bitches do. And when you can run your track and you can jump over hurdles and you can fall on your face on that track, I mean, that is the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I will leave dumb biceps, boy, any day for that.
Yep.
Any day.
That's right. But You're the One That I Want is fantastic. So we can look past the poor morals, the sexual predators.
That moment when she comes out in her jacket, in her pants, in her little wedges, in her black shirt, and her hair all done up, and a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. Like she just turned into bad bitch numero uno.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about it, stud. All the world implodes upon itself.
Yeah.
She is one fine biatcha in that scene.
Yep.
I did read, however, that there are several slip-ups in that scene. If you watch that scene over and over again, the scene throughout, like when she starts in her moment with her cigarette and her thing,
Mm-hmm.
through the end when they're doing wap babaloo bop wap bamboo,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of places that they messed up the recording, like the filming is inconsistent and they were not in sync in their dances and stuff. You have to look for it. But I heard that they had to film all of that basically in one afternoon. They couldn't do several takes over several days because they had to sew her pants on her. Her pants were so tight. They made them so tight that they literally put them on her and sewed them on with her in them. So basically they said, we got to get everything we need today because this bitch ain't taking these pants off and putting them back on. It ain't going to happen. When they're off, they're off. They're so tight. So they had to do all that filming within like a couple of hours before the sun went down and couldn't redo it. Couldn't redo most things.
Nice.
So there's a lot of inconsistencies in those scenes because her pants had to be that tight. They just had to be.
Oh,
they
yeah.
couldn't get stretchy pants. They had to get pants to sew on her. Only way it's believable for her to be that hot. So also she broke her ankle filming that in the last scene.
Damn.
When they're doing the wap babaloo wap wap bamboo, they're running through the fields, whatever, yada yada. Earlier in the scene, she's wearing these like wedges, these like heels that are not that high, but like red heel wedges. Filmed all that, whatever, and they were doing the wap and blue wap, and there's one part where Danny jumps into the scene, into this on camera, and he goes wap blue wap, and then she jumps in and goes oh wap bamboo like that. If you look at that scene, she's barefoot. She's not wearing her wedges because they had just done that take. They did that, and she was wearing the wedges, and she broke her ankle because she jumped on camera with his stupid shoes on in grass and in mud and snapped her ankle. So then they had to redo that take with her broken ankle, and she was barefoot. She took her shoes off, obviously. So that's why she's barefoot in that scene, and that's why they don't do any dancing after that moment. They don't show her dancing at all anymore because anything that she could have done afterward was out of not a possibility. She had no longer could dance on her 2 feet.
Interesting.
Well, she was dedicated to the role. Olivia Newton-John, thank you, goddess, for putting yourself through pain and sewn on pants for us to have the beauty that is that final scene. Thank you.
Dude, she couldn't pee all day.
She couldn't pee.
This is why you listen and watch, folks. You learn fun tidbits. They didn't know. I didn't know that before. Rayleigh did research.
You're
Kudos
welcome.
to her.
You are very welcome. I actually didn't look that up for this podcast. I've known that for many, 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 many years. And I was just holding on to that nugget to be able to tell it at some point in my life because I knew at some point somebody would give a fuck enough for me to tell that little trivial factoid.
I'm glad
and that's why I have you in my life.
Yeah, I'm glad that here on the Matt Show, I could give you that opportunity to share useless facts, But it's actually very useful.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Matthew.
Welcome.
I feel so honored.
Thank you card, but it's just common courtesy. But I guess for now, the verbal thank you will suffice.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and take credit for the fact that you slicked your hair back because I told you to, and you did it. So that means that
now I'm going to take another shower before
listen
bed,
to me,
so I don't look like a psychopath tomorrow. Because this hairdo makes it look like I beat women.
I like that you still holding the comb though and gesturing with it. Like, you're getting ready to do like a Danny Zuko moment where you like comb it
I've
back,
done
and
multiple
then you got to
ones,
do the
but you
back down the
haven't
center.
commented on them. So
You got to do like this, and then straight down the back. Oh my god! His folks, if you are not watching this and you're just listening, you need to know that his hair is
I'm Wolverine
greasiest,
now.
slickiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I have so much shit in my hair right now.
Ugh.
Like,
I can feel it from here. I just know what that feels like, and it is not a good feeling.
no, it's not. That's why I'll probably shower before I go to bed.
Too hot to wear this leather jacket. I can't do it
So
anymore.
hot in here. So hot in here.
Close.
There's our 5% of singing for the episode.
Welcome,
Do you have
folks.
any more notes on this film?
I don't
It's
think
classic
so.
cinema.
Let me double check.
Now my hands feel like they have gel on them.
Yeah, no, I think I covered it all. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm really glad that we got to do this for Olivia Newton-John's sake.
Agreed.
I know that she is looking down on us and thanking us for giving all these notes on her movie and for standing up for women, you know, because I guarantee you when she was filming that, she probably wasn't treated very well. Because women just weren't in general. And if the storyline has anything to say about people who wrote the story, they probably didn't give a fuck much about women. So kudos to her for getting through it and creating this masterpiece for us and being the angel that she is. We are hopelessly devoted to you, Olivia.
I can't top that. Sign
That's
off
clever.
for this.
Yeah.
Tune in next month, whatever the first Monday of October is, for the Moulin Rouge episode.
It'll be worth a watch for sure.
Yeah, it's a good one. Enjoy. Don't forget to go down once more. Later.
Peace.